What if I told you that the art of storytelling is just putting you as the main character to solve someone else's problem? And what if I said that that story can be found in the mundane things? In fact, what if you've already lived the story you need to share? The story that's going to change your life. Welcome to the art of storytelling. Welcome to Zakynthos in Greece, and welcome to another vlog. It is currently, I think, 5:45 in the morning. I got in last night from shooting an event at around about midnight. There's a little personal video that I want to do, which is for my 6am Collective page, which is a series that I'm going to be starting on my socials called the 6am Pages. We've got a busy day because we've got an island day today, so I'm going to be taking you around the island, talking you through storytelling content and the art of storytelling, and then we're back into another nightclub shoot later. It's called Cameo Island, and it's so nice at sunrise and sunset. It's just beautiful. And you know, the funny thing is about this place, it's a party island. Down here it's a party area, and I can still hear all the people partying, still up, and it's 6am and I'm here filming this content. And do you know what's funny? That used to be me. Being here on this island 6 years after I first came, it doesn't just feel like home, it feels like growth. Sometimes you need those small reminders and moments of silence to reflect on your journey. Because when life is moving so fast, we forget how far we've come. And I forget that right now, I'm living exactly what younger me had always wanted. Yeah, look at all these drunks. Honestly, it makes me feel very, very smug that I'm up here, fresh, good night's sleep. I've just woken up for sunrise, I'm working. I'm just surrounded by people that are stumbling around from the night before. As you can see, got a busy one today. This is a day in the life of a content creator and an influencer living out in Greece. Try and get some content on the vlog, but I'm not sure how this is going to go. But we're going to go and try and get a coffee, meet up with one of the other creators that we're using for today's content on the island. We're going to get some storyline shots of the girls going around the island, get a couple of jeeps, and see what we can come up with. But first we need to get some scripts together, get some storyboards together, and yeah, get some ideas flowing. Okay, so we've just stopped at our first location out here in Greece on our island day, and my God, am I sweating. It is so hot. Getting some storytelling content, and have a look at where we are. This is the first location here. We've got the beautiful rocks, stunning blue water, and we've also got a little bucket that takes the drinks and the food over from my cafe down here. 6th year on this island, which is crazy. I've been here so many times, and it honestly feels like a second home to me. It's absolutely incredible, but there's still so many hidden gems that I haven't been able to get to. And so that is the whole point of today. We're trying to show to the events company and the people that book holidays through the events that there's actually so much more to see than just events. And storytelling content is so important for today's sort of marketing, advertising. The way that content has moved in 2025 is now storytelling content. Let's talk about storytelling. I'm going to come up here, give myself a little bit of peace. We're going to talk about some storytelling. Look at this. Unbelievable views. Now for social content, we're talking growing your personal brand on TikTok or Instagram. Storytelling is key. And there's a journey that I like to use, which is sort of the main character journey. And the way that starts is your initial 3 seconds is your hook. And that brings your viewer, when they enter the video, the initial excitement from the hook gets them obviously hooked into the video. Something excites them. They get this sort of gap of curiosity that makes them want to keep watching. With storytelling, you then bring in the main character, and usually you bring in the pain point pretty quickly, which drops them right back down. And at the bottom there's a shift. This shift here is about halfway through the video, and then you bring in the good stuff, which is the motivation or the education or the knowledge or whatever, or even just a part of the story where the things start to go right for the main character. And then at the end, you finish it off with sort of your CTA or your call to action or something to keep the viewers connected with you as a creator. The most important thing for storytelling is understanding your target audience. Above everything else, it's understanding the exact person that you're trying to tell that story to. That way, you can bridge the gap between your problem and your experiences and their problem and what they need you to talk about, i.e. talking about the solution to their problem. And I'm gonna tell you how you do that later on, but first I need to get out of this sun because honestly, I am absolutely roasting. Back in my room, and I've had a little snooze because that sun has drained the energy out of me. So we're back up, we're back awake, and I'm gonna go through storytelling content a little bit deeper and how you can structure your stories so that they're social proof and hopefully they can help you build your personal brand. Because I also want to talk about the sort of the hero journey of the main character. So this is you, or the main character of that story, okay? It's my dreadful little stick man drawing. Okay, so this is the sort of structure from your hero journey. Okay, this is you. Now, this first opening section is essentially the hook, but also the stake of the story. And what I mean by this is where you see your typical sort of videos that are, I gave myself 30 days to earn this amount of money. I gave myself 15 days to lose this amount of weight. I gave myself a year to change this part of my life. There is a stake there. That is setting the context as you as the main character and having that sort of storyline stake. So a lot of people use that as a series. So some people say day one of growing this business until it hits £1 million per year. This day one of doing this until we hit 10,000 followers. Again, that is your stake for that sort of story. That sort of story. We have things that go wrong, which is your struggles. So, for example, if we were to do a video that's like, I gave myself 100 days to lose this much of weight. That could be your stake. Your struggle could be like, I've spent my whole life doing this, until one day I realized I couldn't do this, or I started to miss out on opportunities, or I was getting bullied at school, or my life was falling apart because I was doing this too much, because I was going out partying, drinking, smoking, doing whatever. That needed to change. Again, that part there where you say, and I needed to change. That is your shift. After the shift, we've got the how or the plan. That is essentially you're bringing in the solution to the problem that you're going through. There, if you have a product or a service that you're trying to drive traffic towards, that is where you could start to talk about your product. You don't need to talk about your product at the start. You need to talk about the stake. You need to talk about your problems. You need to talk about the shift, why you're doing it. It's all about the emotional connection of why you're doing something. How does that make you feel? Don't talk about how special the product is. Talk about how the product makes you feel. And then finally, we've got the result. I'll show you an example of a hero journey that I did of the storytelling. That was the first ever video that actually got onto the For You page when I was posting TikToks and Instagram at the start of last year. The video is essentially me talking about Casey Neistat, a phrase he once said, which was ABC, always be closing. The idea of once you start something, you have to finish it. And the storyline was essentially me buying a lock for my ex-partner, trying to go to Paris. And then because of lockdown and various other things, we tried, we failed, we tried, we failed, we tried, we failed. We couldn't quite get there. And then there was a shift in the story. Then there was a plan. We packed our bags, booked our flights. We got to the airport and we got to Paris. And then the result was we used the lock and then we brought back. And that was essentially this sort of setting, this sort of structure is what I used for that video. And I used the blend of Casey Neistat, the quote, and also quite meaningful, purposeful life, educational sort of scripting blended in with my own story. Because actually, if you look at the video wasn't necessarily about me or the lock or even Paris. It was more about once you start something, you have to finish it. And that's why I opened with the Casey Neistat thing, with the always be closing, because the video is not so much about me. It's about everyone. It's about it's created to give someone value. I've just told you that in my experience, and that is really what we're looking for with storytelling. Creating short form storytelling content, the biggest question to ask yourself is, what emotion am I trying to evoke from the viewer? This reflects massively on the tone of voice you use, the music choice, and even the type of shots that you're filming. Remember, you're creating content that serves a purpose to the viewer, so your content pillars should either be entertainment, education, or relatability, and the way that you script your story should be with the viewer's emotion in mind. So don't just talk about yourself. Remember, you're putting yourself as the main character in a story that solves someone else's problem. So understand who you're creating for, find their pain point, and use your life experiences as that example for the story. Right, so I am currently upstairs in the club. My boys Switch Disco are going to be playing tonight. I haven't actually seen this club for years. I came here in 2019 and there's been so much change since, obviously. And yeah, looking forward to sort of get over there and have a look at the boys going on. In a few weeks time, in middle of July, I'm actually going to be spending a whole week with the boys. So I'm going to be at island hopping. I think we're doing Ayia Napa, Ibiza, Malia, Zante, and then back for a few shows around the UK. Mr. Creasy.
Yes, Mr. Russell.
A couple of last minute edits.
Always a couple of last minutes.
It's not like you.
Not, it is like us.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. Have a good one. I might see you after.
Yes, people. My God, is my throat killing me? I've got such a sore throat. It's actually my last morning now, so I'm actually packing up my stuff and heading back to the UK, where I'm then going to go into a massive sort of hole of editing and catching up with client stuff and catching up with personal stuff and all sorts. If you've liked this vlog, please give it a like, please give it a comment, because it helps me out massively. I'm really going to try and push YouTube and try and get that back. Consistent uploads. Like and subscribe, and hopefully there'll be another vlog coming out very, very soon. Peace.